you. And orbs. Get the out of my house. I seriously mean it. Get out.
Wow, you just saw what happens when a QAnon adherent finally cracks. Wow. So now the woman in the video is Canadian Michelle Titler. I'm not kidding about that name, Titler, who was very much into the QAnon movement. And look, QAnon, of course, claims that there's a global pedophile ring run by Hollywood and Democrats, and that Donald Trump was there to stop that, and there's like the coming storm. And of course, what happened is the storm is supposed to be like, oh, there's mass arrest. The FBI is going to arrest all the pedophiles, and then they're going to get thrown in prison, going to put to death, and all that stuff. What happened? Well, that didn't happen. Nothing happened. So look, if you're a rational human being, you would have seen that already. You would have seen that coming a mile away, miles and miles away. You would have realized there's no storm, no worldwide pedophile cabal of, elites that are running society. And you would have also known that, while child sex trafficking and exploitation is an evil that does need to be eradicated everywhere that it is found, like, for example, in the Catholic Church, which seems to have problems, with all this sexual abuse that's going on. Weird. But you would have also known that while that happens, QAnon is essentially nonsense. However, Titler, as you can see, is not exactly a rational human being. And so she's going to explain in this next video why she has decided to leave the QAnon army.
On December 19th, 2022, Q refused to acknowledge my Q plus 3730. All right, I tried to give the ET transmissions to Lara Logan. I tried to give them to Steve Bannon. Lara Logan, I got gang raped a whole bunch of times. Therefore, I'm a legit journalist. Bull, Lara Logan. All you can talk about is the at the border. You can't talk about the real pandemic of child trafficking. None of you can, and it's in my E3TT transmissions. Q. You. I'm telling you, Q, the minute I see you, I'm going to punch you in the temple so goddamn hard, it's going to knock you out. It didn't have to be this way. It never had to be this way. During the sinking of Atlantis, the Archons took over, and that's how long it's taken you to get back here and do anything at all. And even though you've gotten back here and you sucked everybody into all of this for this long, nothing has happened. No arrests, nothing. We've got yet another election stolen. No, Q. No. No matter what happens from here on in, I'm not coming back.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. Okay, so look, first fun point, and then we're going to get to a serious point about, people getting sucked into these conspiracy theories. So the fun part, the orbs. Get out of here, orbs! That's just dust. Dust your house, lady. For God's sakes, get a freaking duster and just start doing this, okay? On your stuff, all right? On your furniture, okay? That's it, duster. Dusters exist in Canada. I'm pretty sure they do. You can go to the store and go pick up a duster, okay? Bring it home and dust your furniture. That'll get rid of the orbs. Or, get your boyfriend to do it, or your husband, or whatever, right? Or maybe if you don't have any of those, maybe son or daughter. I don't care. If you don't have any of that, hire somebody. Just dust your freaking house. Stop listening for ET transmissions and go clean something. Aliens, and I do believe that aliens exist, okay? They probably got way better things to do than to beam down transitions to some rando lady in Vancouver. Okay? I'm just saying.
It is an alien force, not of this world.
No, it's not communicating with you. Okay? You don't have a non-human intelligence that is literally, communicating with you in your brain. That's not what's happening.
It's not human intelligence.
No, it is. Well, actually, maybe it isn't. Look, again, this lady, obviously, she's a nut. Okay? Yes, maybe she wants to go to space.
I want to go to space.
Well, you know what? It looks like your head's already in space. You believe all this weirdo stuff. Okay? But look, that said, let's go to the serious point. The reason that nothing happened with QAnon, you didn't see no storm, is because none of what you believe is true. It's all fake. It doesn't exist. Hillary Clinton is not eating children in the basement of a pizza parlor. Okay? That's not what's happening. And again, I'm somebody who's not exactly a fan of Hillary Clinton. Okay? I campaigned very hard against her in the 2016 primary because I wanted somebody like Bernie Sanders to win. I think he would have beaten Trump. And besides, he has superior policies. That said, she's not eating babies in pizza parlor, okay? There's no Pizzagate, doesn't exist, it's not real. She's not drinking the blood of infants. JFK Jr. is not going to come back to be Donald Trump's vice president or whatever. They're, whatever conspiracy they've come up in the people in Texas. I don't know if they're still there. Are they still hanging out in Texas? I don't know. But look, it's a lie. It's a conspiracy theory. And guess what? You got sucked in. There was no plan to trust. There's nothing. Now, look, you can get into why conspiracy theories are so prevalent, and they've always been, by the way. And look, part of why, according to, some people who've looked at this, it's because people flock to these when their life is falling apart, when they don't understand things. Conspiracy theories tend to come out the most and become most prevalent during times of crisis when people are worried and threatened. They grow and thrive under conditions of uncertainty. And when you look at especially the right wing, right? And, there are real economic conditions and socioeconomic conditions and cultural conditions and things. Yeah, that will cause people to feel uncomfortable with what's going on. I mean, again, you have people that are very uncomfortable with some of the social change that's happening, even though I believe the social change is great. But there are people out there who do not believe that it's great, whose entire worldview is crumbling around them. And so they, of course, have to come up with, instead of accepting that change happens and welcoming change, they retreat and they start getting into these conspiracy theory, rabbit holes. They just go down these rabbit holes. And, well, that lady is a good example of what happens when you make it all the way down that hole. And look, you have the right wing in this country and in other countries, by the way, because Canada, what happens in America inevitably goes downstream and enters into Canada. And I realize that Canada is up, but it goes north. And after a while, you start having conspiracy theorists that are, echoing QAnon stuff in Canada. And yes, I remember the truckers that were in Canada that were blocking, roads and highways over COVID mandates. So you have that. And look, a lot of the right-wing media that gets shown to people sells nothing but fear and uncertainty. And you add to it the fact that there are social media algorithms that are designed for maximum engagement. Now, what gets maximum engagement? Turns out fear. Fear, hatred, anger, these strong emotions that are in human beings, that are intrinsically part of who we are as people. Well, these social media companies They want to get that engagement. And this is the stuff that gets people engaged. And it spirals people down into these conspiracy theories. They do very, very well online. Facebook, Twitter, to a lesser extent now, YouTube, had shepherded people towards more extreme and conspiratorial content in order to get that engagement, to get these eyeballs. And so you have algorithms, and you have humanity, and you have capitalism, you have the profit motive that is intrinsic to why you have the spread of so many conspiracy theories. And by the way, as a result of, our capitalist system, you have a lot of people that are put in very dire economic circumstances that are losing control of their lives. And they go online and they figure out, well, they don't figure out, they get told, and they believe they figured it out because they believe they're smarter than everyone else and they're the only ones that see the truth, the so-called truth, right? And they think, oh, it's not because corporations have a profit motive and they're ripping us off. No, it's the Jews, the bankers, the globalists, which is all the same thing, essentially. It's all part of the same conspiracy theory that always goes back to, Jewish people, they control the world, the cabal. You got the bankers, you got Goldman Sachs, you got all these Jewish people, you know what I mean? But yeah, I love Jewish people, you know what I'm saying? It's funny because Kanye basically ripped the hood off in a very ironic way, because he's a guy that does not have a filter, and he's even made Alex Jones uncomfortable. So yeah, you have all these, ways of basically, and reasons that these conspiracy theories have thrived and have been spread online. And of course, add into the fact that we're basically still apes, and there's very, easy emotional buttons that you can push that will make us react in a non-rational way, because logic and reason gets thrown out the window when you're inundated with fear. So getting back to Miss Titler, based on the videos, at least, and I know she's made other, homophobic as well as racist content in other videos, but I think there's the idea of losing control. That was a big factor in her spiral to QAnon, and I want to show you another snippet of her rant that actually gets pretty dark and proves that point.
All of you, you're losers. In fact, I want to tell you one last thing before I go. I have something on my back. It looks like skin cancer. I honestly am praying to God I have cancer and that I'm going to die. And I'm not just saying that. I will do anything to get out of here. Anything. You guys aren't worth saving. You're not worth saving. None of you can wake up. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. Look at all the orbs. You're not getting me back. I told you, Q, I told you that this had to happen this December and you didn't do it. So you lost me. Okay, you're not in charge, Q. I am. I'm doing disclosure. I'm just as much part of this plan as you are. Okay, so off. That's it. See you later.
I mean, look, that's pretty dark. Okay. Like, the skin cancer? Wow. And the saddest thing about that is this person is spending, or had spent, all the years of their life chasing something that doesn't exist. Trying to find the elite cabal of pedophiles. Well, all you have to do is just look in the churches. It doesn't matter the religion. They flock to those places of power, especially in places where you are not allowed to question the authority. Because, of course, predators want to hide in places where they have absolute authority. And they're spending whatever years of their life that they have left hurting people in the process by spreading these nonsense conspiracy theories. And I don't feel bad for her. I actually feel bad for what she could have been. And I look at people, my worldview is everyone has potential, right? Everyone has potential to do something positive, to bring something to the table. But what she has brought to the table, and people like her, is harmful. It hurts society. It hurts people. That's what this brings. You're not saving children. You're actually making it more difficult for authorities to save children from exploitation, which does happen. And it is an issue. And this is a distraction away from saving children from exploitation. Especially since now they've been targeting the LGBTQ community. Your child is safer at a drag show than, you know, at a Catholic church. Much safer. They're much safer with an LGBTQ plus teacher learning about pronouns than you are with, you know, with a certain conservative politicians like Dennis Hastert, Roy Moore, Matt Gaetz, Jim Jordan. You know what I'm saying? It's just, again, I feel bad for what these people could have been had they not been sucked down into these, you know, nonsense conspiracy holes. It's just, it's sad. It's sad to see the waste of humanity. And they'll never realize it, unfortunately. She'll never realize that the core of what she believes is just all garbage. Even if she's quit the movement and have shut down the, you know, transmissions to the ETs, she's not going to do anything positive with her life. And that's the biggest tragedy of all.